our Drift audience. Today is day million of Drift Week 2. We are track day 5, I think. But Cy and I have been on the road for 13 days? Yeah. Is that right? Yeah. Something like that. Cy's keeping track, but I'm not. This is Cory Misko's E46, and when he entered Get In Here, he sent me an application to Drift Week. Get up over here, come on. He sent me an application to Drift Week. He's like, I have a 325i that makes 180 horsepower, can I come? And I was like, I need a stance car, this will work. I was like, this thing is real low and cool, and like maybe it'll hit a raccoon and make a story. But no, he took it really seriously. He entered with a stock 325, is that correct?
Yep, stock 325.
That was just like stanced out, and I think I verified everybody has to get a vouch. Yep. And I asked Chelsea, and Chelsea's like, oh, that dude used to work for me. Let him in. Yep. And I was like, okay, Chelsea's good, we'll do that. And then I just was like, no big deal, it's some stance kid, whatever, I'll ignore him. And then we have this group chat, and the Drift Week group chat is just like, do-do-do-do-do. And all of a sudden I see him like building a turbo manifold by hand, and then like building a rear mount radiator setup, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy is A, an idiot, or B, never gonna finish. Like, there's no way. And then the car came together beautifully. Like, everything is so cool looking. The turbo setup is awesome. The rear mount radiator setup looks beautiful. I had no faith, just to be honest.
I was a little nervous towards the end as well. But
yeah, I was like, this is way too big of a project. Like, just doing a rear mount radiator setup, people don't know how much work it is. Yeah. How much time did that take you?
Probably like 3 or 4 days just to get everything plumbed and built. Because I even built the radiator. Like, I just bought a core, did the end tanks and everything. Man. Literally built everything.
If he did that in 3 or 4 days, he is really fast. All right, so this whole car is ridiculously cool. It looks cool. It's a stance out car. Everybody loves these wheels. Are these old Graham lights, or what are those?
Graham Light 57 C6.
Yep. I was gonna say D's. How are they different than the D's? They have one more spoke?
I honestly don't know.
I don't remember. It's too many different styles of wheels. So tell me about the car. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about Drift Week. What's the hardest or the best part, the worst part? Just chat. Go. Because I always talk. Get over here. You do all the talking.
All right, so the car is obviously a 325i. Got the car finished in time to make it to round 1. Blew the motor up first round. Ended up having to swap in a 2.8 at my buddy's shop in Phoenix. Got the car together. Made it the second round. The car's been pretty solid since then. Had some small little issues here and there, but pretty stoked that we were actually even driving the round.
You had small issues, you blew the motor. That is a huge thing. You guys took so much like effort to swap that.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going though. I'm just interrupting. I'm just like, that is not a small thing.
Well, like, we had small issues since the blown motor.
Yeah.
So just like random like fuel pressure issue or coil pack issue. I don't know what else.
What's the hardest part of Drift Week?
Hardest part of Drift Week?
Yeah.
Lack of sleep.
Yeah.
Probably lack of sleep and
because of the blown motor and stuff. It's so much extra work where other people are just going to dinner, going to the French Quarter, having fun. You have a car that's very modified.
He's dying. But yeah, the lack of sleep because we pulled all-nighters just to get here. And then, you know, you figured the car is done, we'll be able to rest some and get more energy. But then the car blows up, more all-nighters. But luckily my buddy from Link ECU, who's helped sponsoring me, came by and we were able to get the car together and running and whatever tune adjustments we need, he's able to help out with that. I don't know what else.
Show us around the car.
What's up?
Show us around the car.
Alright, so car is stock 2.8, 100% bone stock, no studs, no gasket, nothing. It's around 400 wheel horsepower. I built literally everything on it. I didn't buy anything. So intercooler I built, manifold I built, downpipe exhaust I built, catch can I built, radiator I built, literally everything. I didn't buy anything on it. So
you had to buy a bunch of stuff. You had to buy the core, you had to buy the metal. Are you forging all the metal?
No, I forged it all. So I even make the fins myself. Nah. But and then a lot of people asking about the body on the car. The front bumper is a D-Max Type 3 Kuki S14 bumper molded to the stock bumper. And then the side skirts are BN IS300 cut and extended 2.5 inches to fit the car. I did all that myself.
Over you love to fabricate then, Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I'm a fabricator, yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
Over fenders, Big Duck Club, they help me out a lot as well. Seems Legit Garage. They helped me out with a lot of things here and there in the car as well. Yeah, I don't know.
How much power does it make?
About 400 horse.
Is it like a really enjoyable power band? Does it run really well? Is this the car to bring on Drift Week, or should you have brought something else? Because I see like, wow, in his E46 M3, he seems to have gotten probably 10 times a lap as you.
Oh, for sure.
So as you modified your car, you got less seat time.
I think it's more or less the lack of testing and refining everything that I did in such a short period of time.
You were very ambitious, and the car turned out amazing.
Thank you.
But always, when you don't have any testing, there's no setup time and stuff, and everything is highly modified, that's brutal.
Yeah, I think for the lack of testing, the car's actually been doing really great. The biggest thing we've been dealing with are the cooling system. We did 0 testing on the radiator. There's no cool air ducting to it, so it does get a little hot, and the oil temps do get hot. I'm not running a cooler for the oil. But other than that, the car's been pretty good.
How's the gas mileage pulling the trailer?
Fuel mileage has been around 15 to 17 miles to the gallon.
Oh, that's not too bad. And how does it pull the trailer?
It pulls it great. In 5th gear, it will try to boost spike because there's a lot more load on it. So it'll try to over boost, but we don't do any pulls on the highway with the trailer.
That's kind of an interesting thing to think about. I never thought about just over boosting because you're trying to pull up a hill in 5th gear.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about the car?
My favorite part? Now the turbo setup, because I've been driving stock motor for so long. It's been a nice relief to have extra power now.
And what would you rather have on this trip? Like Wout's E46 M3 or this car on this trip? What do you think is the best choice? Because there's a lot of people out there that probably think they want to do this trip, and they look at your car and they're just like, that thing is baller town. That is what I want. But to live through the car, which would you rather do this trip in?
I'd rather use the stock E46 M3 for the trip, but for track use, I'd rather have this.
Yeah, but it's a trip, and there's a lot of different things, a lot of different aspects.
Yeah, we've been having to run the heat full blast to help keep the coolant temp down.
Oh man, so it gets hot in there?
It's hot as inside.
Oh man. You don't have to do that on the highway, do you?
Yeah, on the highway.
Oh my god.
So the whole trip, heat's been full blast.
So you have to keep the windows down basically?
Yeah.
Okay. So this thing is probably pretty uncomfortable on the street.
Oh, absolutely.
How bad is it? Like tolerable or like intolerable?
I mean, we're alive.
So it's pretty bad.
Yeah, now that we took the trunk off, it keeps it nice and cool inside.
So you don't have to run the heat?
No, we just leave the heat off now, so.
Okay.
But yeah.
So there's so many stories about these cars that I don't even realize. Like we got to the hotel last night and we saw his trunk off and we're like, oh, fell off, or you're like, whatever. We didn't even think about it, but thinking that he has to run no trunk for the rear mount radiator setup is kind of crazy. How many laps have you done on the trip? Or sorry, about the heat too, that's crazy. How many laps?
I'd probably say total, maybe around 100 laps.
Yeah. Let's swap around this way because of generator. So if the mic is pointed, it's not so bad. All right, come here. Keep going. Yes. How many laps have you gotten?
So probably altogether, probably around 100 laps for the whole trip.
Okay, so that's way less than most of the other guys.
Yeah.
They're doing 100 laps a day for some of these guys.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's including day 1 at Musselman, the turbo fell off 3 laps in, which was mind-blowing. I don't know why that fell off. And then day 2 at Musselman, I probably had like 25 laps in, and then the motor blew up. So.
Good God.
Yeah.
That sounds like a rough drift week.
Yeah, and then we had to drive 4 hours on the blown motor to my buddy's shop to swap the motor, and it was just smoke screening the whole highway. We had to hold the doors open to help keep the smoke out from inside the car.
So has this been a good trip or a bad trip?
It's been exhausting, but it's been good.
Yeah.
It's a good experience, I think.
Okay. Are you going to be better at building cars after this?
I mean, I'm learning, so yeah, I hope so.
It's like torture testing what you build.
Oh, yeah.
In rapid development. We've been talking to Rudy Martinez about this. They're developing that VR30 setup, and they're like, never would we get this much track time back to back to back and so much testing and just figuring stuff out. And because they're trapped there, they can't do anything else but work on the car and develop it.
You're forced to work on it.
Yeah, so this car is going to get developed really fast, which is really cool. So even though it seems like you're covering all this space and time and drift events and working on it and everything, you're really compressing an entire year or 2 of working on this car into 2 weeks, which is cool. Show us around the car. I want to see the rear mount. I want to just show us all the details.
Yeah, so the manifold is a bottom mount. not traditional style. The turbo's actually up front where the AC compressor's at. I did that for more accessibility to the turbo if I needed to work on it. Wastegate out the hood. Got the catch can that I made with my logo in it. Then we got a Vibrant intercooler core that I bought and built the custom intakes for. Over here in the interior we got the Edition Autosport seats. I'm running a Halo seat for the driver's side and a non-Halo. And then a buddy of mine from Fiber Spoke actually made this beautiful carbon fiber steering wheel for me in preparation for Drift Week. So he hand makes these in-house, CNC cuts the handles and everything, custom engraves, does any type of logo on it. Has many different types of carbon fiber weaves, colors, forged carbon, anything you can possibly think of carbon fiber wise, he can get it and make you a custom wheel. So make sure you check out Fiber Spoke if you want to get yourself a custom handmade carbon fiber wheel. On the inside back here, it's pretty much well gutted. You can see the coolant lines for the electric water pump for the radiator.
Wait, is that legal? That's not FD legal?
Nope, not FD legal. And back here we're using a CNR radiator core with the custom intakes that I made. Then expansion tank that I made as well with the overflow. And we're running 2 Spall 13-inch fans.
And that's it?
That's it. Yep.
That's pretty much the whole car. It's a pretty simple car.
Yeah, it's kind of simple but and wild at the same time.
Yeah, it's like it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it's relatively simple.
Yep. Yeah,
wait,
that's
what are these little bars here for?
Right here?
Yeah.
So these bars were kind of an afterthought when I tubed the rear end of the car. I actually crashed it real bad, so I tubed it. And I have a jack point underneath, but it was flexing everything so bad, so I added those supports into the cage to help prevent everything from flexing and moving on me.
Oh, that's cool. That's a nice little touch.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say?
Nah, I think that's it.
You good?
Yep.
All right.
Sweet.
Well, thanks for the interview.
Yep, no problem.
Have fun on track.
Yep.